What they explain in this book is that at our level of evolution, we are a collective unconscious mind. We are all connected, but not at a conscious level. We are all connected as humans at an unconscious level.
So I want to talk about channeling. First of all, explain what channeling is, because there is a book that the Awakened Travelers do refer to and that you've read called The Law of One. So let's start off by talking about what is channeling.
Channeling, it's the receiving of information that comes from another entity, another being, that comes through your mind. So there are different ways of channeling. Some people receive the information like in a telepathic way, so they can like listen this information that it's obviously not coming from their thoughts and speak up. So this is one way of channeling. There are different states of channeling. Some people go very, very deep, and in this case, the Law of One book has been made. Because this group called LL Research from the United States, it was a spiritual group that were doing meditations and they were trying to do what other people was doing in that moment, which was receiving information from other beings. So Don Elkins is the one in charge, and he formed a group. He started doing the research, the practices, until one of them, Carla Ruckert, was the best one in it, and they start receiving information from a being called Ra.
So when you say being, there are different beings out there, and this is a group called Ra.
Yes, what they explain in this book is that at our level of evolution, we are a collective unconscious mind. We are all connected, but not at a conscious level. We are all connected as humans at an unconscious level. They explain the different stages of evolution, and they tell us that we are at the end of a cycle of third density, as they call it, and at the beginning of this new era, this new cycle of fourth density.
Can I just explain that with third density to fourth density, it's just moving into more of a high level of awareness and consciousness?
Yeah, it's moving to a different vibration, and they say that by 2012, the change has been made. Astrologically, we come from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. So they explain to us that the vibration of the planet is rising, as everything in the universe, as we are raising our vibration with the planet, and then into the third density that we were, and now we are at the beginning of the fourth, we were learning the lessons of self-awareness, and we had to make the choice. After you made the choice, then we go into the next step on our evolution, which is to live the lessons of love.
Now, there are 5 books which you've read all. I've only gone halfway through one. But tell me some of the most important messages that we have learned from this book, from this channeling and this group of Ra.
Well, I don't know if it's one that it's the most important, but one of the questions that I remember very well from the questioner, because that's how it works. The questioner asks the questions and he gives the answer. And he asked, why do we incarnate? And he explained it very well with an example. And he says something like, imagine life as a game of cards, poker. If you are playing poker with a group, but you see the cards of the other one, you know every move that he is going to make, the game itself, it's not very exciting. So the reason for incarnation is to come to this planet. Forget that we have come for the reason of expansion of consciousness, and then to forget what cards even you have, the other person has, And that's how the game of life starts getting very exciting, and the expansion is produced, because they explain that on the other side, everything is seen, everything what the other people feel, it's known, and the cards are like transparent.
So we're playing the same game in a different body, under a different label, identity each time. Does there come a point, did they ever have a message where there comes a point you don't need to keep reincarnating?
Yes, of course. At some point, when you have learned the lessons of life, you just understand that you are playing this game, and you start seeing life very differently, because now you know it's a game, the game of life, that you come here to expand your consciousness. So when you understand this, and you understand the law of one as it is, that you are part of the other person, that we are all part of one infinite creator, then the drama of life just decreases big time.
So you mentioned we're collectively unconscious. We're connected, but we're collectively unconscious. How will we become collectively conscious?
As soon as we start being awakened and knowing that we are actually living this life to share all these experiences, to grow, to expand, we will start forming now in this new density, this new fourth density, a connection among us. And this connection will grow more and more until we will feel what the other person is feeling. We will feel their thoughts, and we slowly will, as the years go through, we will start forming this collective consciousness. These beings, the Ra collective consciousness, they are far ahead of us in evolution, and they are all connected in the planet. So what happens to one happens to all. Once you understand the law of one and you really know that we are all connected, what's the reason for violence, for war, so all these things disappear in these more evolved societies, because they know that if I harm you, I harm myself. So that's why this collective consciousness, Ra, present themselves as Ra, but they speak in the name of a collective consciousness, not only one being from that race.
So can you give us one final message that was channeled from this group?
Okay, this group has channeled many beings from other planets, or many collectives. One of them, it's called a Haton, it's from another planet as well. And I think they are giving a good message that we can summarize here. Just I'm not going to read it all, but then just a little bit. So this being says, we have been contacting people of planet Earth for many of your years. We have been contacting at intervals of thousands of years those who sought our aid. It is time for many of the people of this planet to be contacted. For many now have the understanding and the desire to seek something outside their physical illusion that has for so many years involved the thinking of those of this planet. The process we are stimulating is one which is self-generating. As more and more of those who desire our contact receive it and pass it on to others, then those who receive this passed on information will then themselves be able to reach a state of thinking and understanding sufficiently in tune, shall I say, with our vibrations in order to receive our contact. For this, my friends, is how contacts work. It is first necessary, if the entity is to be able to receive our contact, for him to become a certain vibration as a result of his thinking. This is greatly speeded by involvement in groups such as this, and he is speaking about the group of LL Research. And then it is finally done through meditation. In other words, the verbal communications given to the entity by the channels, such as this one, create a system of thought and a desire for spiritual awareness that rises his vibration. And this is what we are trying to do by sharing this information, by bringing this into the awareness of people, is absolutely changing our vibration and getting us closer to their vibration, so that's how they can communicate with us.